Dark, stormy clouds have been looming over the city for the past few weeks. This night was no different. Rain was falling from the clouded sky like a tsunami. Wind was so strong that some trees have fallen over, broken by its strength. Another power shortage has struck few districts. In one of these districts, next to a market and a high school, there stands a building. Its old blue paint had lost its intensity years ago. All windows are dark and empty. Everyone's asleep. Almost everyone. In one window, a small flicker of light can be seen, barely noticeable. Inside a small room, on the floor, there sits a man, surrounded by the light of few candles. The man's eyes reflect the candle flame. He is dressed only in an old grey pair of pants. His torso, hands and face are hairy and covered in tattoos and scars. His fingernails and toenails look more like claws than actual human nails. In his hand, this wild-looking man holds a book. He sighs and looks outside the window for a moment, silently listening to the storm that is separated from him by a layer of glass and concrete. His eyes return to the book in his hand. He closes it and puts it on a small coffee table next to him. The table itself is rather nothing out of the ordinary, if not for the things that are laid on it. Bird feathers, sticks, stones, and animal bones. The man extinguishes the candles with his fingers and climbs into his bed. He can't sleep. Not because of the storm. He just feels like something's missing. In time, as he slowly drifts to sleep, accompanied by the sounds of the wind, he dreams the same dream as always. He flies to the night sky with the full moon looming over him. He runs through a dense wild forest. He swims in a deep, cold lake. His heart is beating, blood is running hot. Around him, the sounds of wind and howls of wolves. He stops before a giant tree. The tree is bleeding. From behind it, he can see red eyes glowing in the dark. His heart is beating, not out of fear. What is this feeling? The man's face is wet. Is it raining? No. Is it sweat? Also no. He opens his eyes to see a happy snout of his dog laying next to him, its tongue sticking out of its mouth. The dog barks, excited. The man smiles and hugs his big, fluffy friend, gently petting his light brown fur. The wind outside has stopped, for now, leaving only gentle rain. "Hey bro, you up yet?" a female voice says from behind the wall. Yeah, give me a minute." The man wipes his face with a hand and gets out of bed. "Come on, Brutus, we'll give you something to eat," the man says to his dog, at which he wags his tail. They enter the kitchen where the man's sister is waiting. As she looks at the man's tired face, she says, "You haven't slept again, did you?" "Don't worry about it, Maggie," the man says as he fills the dog's bowl with food. "You can't go on like that, you'll fall apart." "I'm fine, really. And shouldn't you be getting ready for school?" "It's Saturday, bro." "Wait, really? Huh. I guess I don't have to go to any lecture then." Maggie puts a black mug in front of her brother. "Here you go." "Thanks, sis." The man takes the mug and drinks from it. It's his favorite black tea with 2 spoons of sugar. "Anyway, I'm going to a sleepover today." "To Anne?" "Yep, her mom will pick me up in a few hours, so you'll have the whole house for yourself. Try to get some more sleep, okay? You know I can't sleep at day. Just try, please." The man sighs and takes another sip of his tea. "I'll try." Maggie hugs her brother and leaves to her room, leaving him and the dog alone. The man looks outside the kitchen window. City services are taking fallen trees from the wet road. The man gets up and goes to the bathroom to take a hot shower. While he's there, he thinks about his dream. The same dream that was haunting him for the past few weeks. Lost in his contemplations, he can barely feel the hot water hitting his body. It's almost like he can't feel anything. No warmth, no pain, no relaxation, nothing. But this dream, in it, he feels alive. Running barefoot through the wild forest, his heart beating like a drum, his face getting scratched by branches and bushes. It's wonderful. But he snaps back to reality. The whole bathroom is filled with hot steam. He cuts off the water. He must have been there for at least an hour. After drying off, he exits the bathroom and checks the time. Yep, he was there an hour. The bills will kill me. And despite knowing about it, the man couldn't help but just don't care. It didn't move him for some reason. He knows they don't have a lot of money, and yet he's indifferent. "Maggie, I'm going for a walk." "Okay, be careful, bro." The man dresses himself. Black hoodie, old green jacket, and an old, worn-out black pair of heavy shoes. And like that, he goes out, closing the door behind him. After getting down the staircase and exiting the building, his face is struck by a gentle blow of cold wind. The rain stopped, for now at least. The dark clouds still block the sun. The air is fresh, like always after storm. While walking, the man takes a deep breath and closes his eyes, once again reaching with his mind to the dream, to the forest, to freedom. This time, however, he's snapped back by the sounds of passing cars. The man sighs. And like that, he walks around his district, lost in thoughts, consumed by a sense of longing. After a while, he gets to a nearby park. Surprisingly, none of the trees were broken by the storm. At this sight, the man smiles. "I see you're holding quite well, old friend," the man says while looking at the branches above him. At that moment, a gentle wind blew between the branches, making the still holding leaves rustle. Good to hear, good to hear. The man takes a walk through the park, and after some time he sits on a bench, his eyes looking up at the trees, his ears listening to the blowing wind. "Oh, if it isn't our little friend!" a voice says behind him. The man sighs and turns around. He sees three young guys standing behind him. One of them is tall and skinny, the second one short and fat, and the third one tall and wide in shoulders. "What do you want?" the man says, clearly irritated. "What, can't we just say hi to our favorite local weirdo?" "Well, you said it, now leave me alone." The man stands up and begins to walk away, but the skinny guy grabs his shoulder and stops him. "Don't be like that, you know what we want, doggy." "I told you not to call me that, and if you want anything, then go talk to the boss," the man says and shrugs the guy's hands off his shoulder. "Whatever, dog! Hand it over," says the skinny guy, pulling out a knife. The man looks at it. "Really? Are you compensating for something with this?" The other two guys chuckle behind him. Skinny guy is clearly angered by it. "Funny guy, aren't you, dog? You won't be when I..." Before he could finish, something fell on his hand from above, knocking the knife out of his hand. "What the? Fucking birds!" The skinny guy tries to pick up his knife and clear his hand off of bird poo. But before he can do anything, he's struck by the man in the face. A loud crunch sound can be heard that scares off nearby birds. The skinny guy lands on his back and holds his face, blood running from between his fingers. "Motherfucker, my nose! He broke my fucking nose!" The man wastes no time and kicks the laying skinny guy in the ribs. Another crunch can be heard. Before the other two can react, the man starts to run between the trees. The fat guy pulls out a gun and shoots at the man. First two shots miss and hit the trees, but the third one got the man on the leg. "Motherfuck!" The man whimpers, but continues to try and run. The pain coursing through his body, but he knows he has to run. He knows he must come back home. He knows he must survive. The two guys run after him. The fat one aims again, but a branch from a tree he shot falls on him, knocking him down. The third one jumps over him and catches the man, tackling him over and punching him repeatedly in the face. The man tries to cover himself and block the punches. His heart races like never before. The pain, the adrenaline. Wait, is that it? Is that what he was looking for? The pain, the thrill. Suddenly, few seagulls fly over and attack his opponent. They claw on his face and arms, distracting him long enough for the man to knock his attacker off of him and attack. The man claws on the attacker's face with his claw-like nails. Again and again and again. The blood is splashing the man's face and lips. It's sweet. Then he feels something hit him over the head. The man falls over again. He looks up and sees the fat guy and the skinny guy. The fat one is holding a piece of wood. "Fucking dog!" says the skinny guy and begins to kick the man on the ground, while the fat one helps their friend up. "Not so strong now, huh? Big bad dog my ass!" Now all of them begin to hit and kick the man. He tries to defend himself, but it's no use. He can feel his ribs and skull getting broken. cracked. His vision begins to blur. Fucker! Get him up, boys! We'll throw him somewhere before the cops get here. The two other guys pick the barely conscious man up. He can't move. He can't speak. He can barely breathe. It begins to rain again, so any blood trail will be washed away. They carry him to an abandoned old building at the verge of the park that used to be a bar. The skinny one kicks the door open, and they threw the man in one of the dark corners behind the old dusty countertop. You will rot in here, doggy, and your boss can't do shit, said the skinny man, and kicks the man again. To think that people could be actually scared of you. Ha! Big bad dog, my ass. Skinny guy spits on the man's face, and they leave. Live like a dog and die like one, he says before closing the door. The man can't move. His arms and legs are broken. Every breath brings him incredible pain. He can barely see anything. It's dark in here, cold. Only few quiet words come from his mouth. Maggie, I'm sorry. A tear runs his face. Then everything went dark. The rain, the sky, the forest, the moon. You can see them in the distance. But it's not right. Something's off. They all are red. This feeling, it hurts. It's ripping him apart. This longing, this desire, this hunger. And the voice, it speaks to him. It fills his body. Go, kill. Few days later, the local papers and forums were talking about a gruesome, bloody murder. 3 young men were found near a park, torn to shreds by what seems to be a big feral dog or a wolf. Because no human could be capable of such things. Rumors start to spread about this park, that this beast hides somewhere in there, that at night howls can be heard, a sad symphony filled with different kind of longing. They say that it comes out at night and stalks people who are reported missing few hours later. Some say that they saw that thing, or rather its eyes, the red eyes of a monster.